All right. Am I working? Bum, bum, bum. All right. Sorry about that false start. Yeah, something was weird there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm back. Thank you, everyone. I thought, well, I went live, and I won't waste too much time on this, but I went live, and I have the YouTube live over here in a separate window, and I never saw it, so I disconnected and reconnected, but I think it was working. So, nevertheless, my friends, welcome back. Welcome back. So SRNE, a lot to talk about tonight. Remember, the goal is to go over the weekly watch list. The goal is to get ready for the week ahead. The goal is to answer questions if you have any. Pretty busy day today overall. But just if you're new, in chat is the watch list. It's free. Sign up. Hits you every week, every Sunday in your inbox. That's going to be kind of the focus of what we're going to talk about tonight, on top of some other plays that kind of cropped up today. So, SRNE, beautiful high a day break this morning. So, the normal philosophy, listen, SRNE, potential dilution play, very sketchy stock. Now, a lot of you might not like, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase. A lot of you may like trading in pre-market. I caution, geez, oh Pete, some of you guys nailed it. Beautiful. John Phillips in at 239. Bazilla Whoop, number 1, Bazilla Whoop. Love the username. Bazilla Whoop in at 250, out at 340. Good googly boogly. Well done, Bazilla Whoop. Anyway, let me go back to SRNE. I prefer, if you're a new or intermediate trader, avoid pre-market. I think, one of the reasons, I know pre-market is alluring to new traders. You see the big moves. You want to get in, you want to make a bunch of money before the market open, but I recommend letting these things shake out, even into that, 9:45 and later window, and then join the trend, as they say. And this goes for long or short, okay? Don't be trying to short in pre-market. Very dangerous. But if you're short bias, let it spike, let it chop around at the open, and if it starts to fade, you join that trend. Vice versa on SRNE, and what I would recommend, listen, we're in the craziest bull market of all time. As I'm talking, literally the second I'm talking, the SPY just hit a new all-time high. Hey, you can short and make money. But my favorite trading quote of all time is a Jesse Livermore quote. It is, there's a time to go long, a time to go short, and a time to go fishing. Okay? There are more short-friendly times in the market. I think ever since 2015, 2016, it has gotten significantly harder. Does not mean you can't do it. Doesn't mean, hey, there's money to be made on both sides. But especially if you're new or intermediate, man, it's tough for a short seller out there. And SRNE is a classic example. SRNE spiked in after hours simply because shorts got trapped on that 230 dip. I mean, when SRNE broke down at 230, you know the shorts piled in. Stock reclaimed the high, and it's squeezing in after hours because they're stuck. They're trapped because they shorted day one. I mean, day one shorts in 2019. Man, I'm telling you. No, and I want to be clear. No trading is easy. No, nothing is easy in trading, especially if you're new. Everything's hard, okay? But there are much easier ways to make money than shorting a day one stock trading 76 million shares on the day. I apologize for the water. This is my fourth webinar of the day, and I did a podcast, so the throat's a little dry. So anyway, SRNA, well done by many of you. Let's get to the. Let me get caught up on questions. Weed stocks suck, Antoine. I hate weed stocks. I joke about this almost every week, Antoine. And remember, this isn't meant to be offensive, but I'm sure most of you get this analogy, okay? When I talk about weed stocks, I call them the cheating girlfriend, or the cheating boyfriend, okay? But we've all been there, okay? I'm assuming at some point you dated somebody, and this goes for men and women, that they were just nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. You kept breaking up, taking them back, breaking up, taking them back, and every time your friends and your family are like, dude, or dudette, dude, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Why you broke up with her? Why'd you take her back again, dude? That's weed stocks to me. Until weed stocks put in a multi-day sustained run, I say ignore them. Ignore them. When, just like that cheating boyfriend or girlfriend, when you see them on caller ID, cheating boyfriend, cheating girlfriend, voicemail. Send the weed stocks to voicemail until they put in multi-day moves. Hell, multi-week moves. So, feedback on the mic. Hold on. Sorry, I do get a little loud. I love what I do. So sometimes the mic gets a little loud. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. So I adjusted the mic. I love what I do. I get a little loud. You wonder why my throat's dry. It's because I yell all the time. But I love stocks too much. CLVS was beautiful. Let me get to the watch list. ALPP was nice today. Yeah, hey, gallon a day, baby. Gallon a day. Minimum. Okay, cool. All right, so SRNE is definitely in play for tomorrow. Let's get to the watch list. Number one on the watch list from yesterday was GE. Nice little trend this morning, and the stock closed green on the day, and it held the breakout. So, I mean, listen, if you bought the that 945 break on GE, man, nothing great. It did uptrend before pulling back, held green. I don't think there was really a great trade here, but I like the fact that it held up. We're going it, this thing's been consolidating now for 2 weeks. Look at this nice little kind of, I guess you could call this, a little bit of a consolidation and a wedge, and and it broke out. It hit a new 52-week high today. It just pulled back. So, GE, I would remember the weekly watch list is ideas to watch all week. Okay, GE still in play. Didn't really do that much today. CLVS, on the contrary, was killer. I'm telling you, I'm a very time dependent trader. I think really focusing on the right time of day is very underrated, I guess you could say. And look at that again. CLVS spikes at the open, pulls back, and this is what I'm talking about. You can just avoid all this mess at the open. Look at this mess. Spikes, drops, and then wait for that break, at post 9:45, at 10:30. And then you can risk a fail, okay? So if you buy that 9:50 break, we love whole dollar, half dollar type areas. You risk a fail on 9.50, maybe you risk 20, 30 cents a share on a $9 stock. That's a reasonable risk to reward. And then the thing trucks all the way up to 10. I mean, you're already up 50 cents a share, almost straight up. Then it goes into the midday chop. I mean, you could have sold for 50 cents. If you rode out the midday chop, spikes into the close, holds in after hours, and it's like 8 cents from a new high a day. So CLVS was the second one on the weekend watch list. And, and again, GE at this point, still in play. GE still closed green on the day. So CLVS, I call a win. This has been a killer stock. I don't know if any of you were at the Traders Expo in Las Vegas. I did a 45-minute presentation on the 8th of November, right? Friday the 8th at the Las Vegas Traders Expo, I did a 45-minute presentation about how much I loved CLVS. The stock was at $5. What's it at today? What's it at tomorrow? I mean, tomorrow it's probably at 11. So, simple breakouts, high volume with news. Again, I don't know if any of you were in Vegas. If you were there, if any of you were there, 45 minutes I talked about this stock 2 weeks ago and $6 a share ago. So definitely in play for tomorrow. This would be one you probably should have traded today. You probably should have took this one. And you're fat and happy at this point. You're up 75 cents a share. Market's hitting all-time highs. Probably gaps up tomorrow. So SSI is number 3 from yesterday. Nothing right now. Nothing today. A lot like GE. But I tell you what, I would be setting an alert at that breakout level, maybe at 495. If this reclaims those levels, maybe we get some more retail stocks with earnings or positive announcements this week. Another late day play or late week play, I would let it shake out and I would just simple breakouts. This thing's an earnings winner at this point. Keep it simple. MYOV was beautiful. We talked about this a ton in StocksToTrade Pro on Friday afternoon. This thing was beautiful. On Friday, let me get you a 2-day chart. So this thing, classic Friday short squeeze. Okay, go back to your multi-day chart on MYOV. This thing spiked earlier in the week. So spikes earlier in the week, holds all through the week, and then look at that spike it basically at noon on Friday. $3 a share straight to the upside. Then holds into the close. We talked about this as a potential gapper in StocksToTrade Pro. Many members took this over the weekend. It gapped up to the 15s, went as high as 1550, and then if you didn't take it over the weekend, you got that pullback, and then you could have gotten a pullback to VWAP. Maybe you're in at the 1480s today. If you didn't take it over the weekend, you're in the 1480s, and you got a nice little buffer. Again, looks like it wants to gap up tomorrow. So out of the four, I declare CLVS and MYOV. I declare them winners, as they say, from yesterday's watch list. And then GE and SSI just aren't, they're still in play. Just they didn't do anything today. But guess what? There's 4 days left in the week. So, and then the last one, the most speculative, was IG, EYEG. I didn't have a ton of faith in this. The biggest reason I put it on the watch list was I thought maybe there was a potential that they would try and slip out some sort of press release. This is was a big spiker on Friday, faded all day. I mean, EYEG, I admit, I didn't have a ton of hope on this one. The biggest reason I put it on the watch list was I was hoping they do the standard sketchy penny stock routine and slip out a Monday morning PR. Didn't happen, so but I still think it's a good watch. I mean, listen, it's a big if. This is a 2 million float stock, that traded 16 million shares on Friday. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. It is Christmas season. Yes, my wife got my home office Christmas tree up. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a deer for the Christmas tree topper. The decorations are all like elk and deer, and the lights are shotgun shells. So a very redneck Christmas tree for me. But anyway, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. And IG didn't put out the PR, but I'm telling you, if they did 2 million shares float, 16 million shares traded on Friday, they could have put out, it's standard penny stock incompetence. They could have put out a press release that said we mowed the lawn, and this thing probably would have went crazy today. But they're an incompetent penny stock. That's what incompetent penny stocks do. They screw everything up. Norm's music video, I think CLVS keeps grinding. So BCRX, yeah, BCRX had some news, right? There was news, wasn't there? Yeah, oh wait, somebody posted it. It's all right. A lot of resistance at 3. The only thing I don't like about BCRX, look at all that resistance at 3. I just don't know. The thing with BCRX is, remember, as I joke about the incompetence of penny stocks, remember, when you get this big gap down right here back in May, you know for a fact BCRX is loaded with bag holders from this big gap down. They got trapped, they got stuck in the gap down, and then it faded all the way back down to $1.30. So remember the bag holder mentality. They're all just hoping to get back some of what they're down. They're hoping to get back to break even. And when I see a big gap down like this, and then 6 months of just sideways, to me, this thing's just really going to struggle to break 3, because everybody's going to be like, holy crap, BCRX is back at 3, get me out. So that's my opinion on BCRX. You can say I'm a little, maybe I'm a little pessimistic, but that's what I see. All I can do is base it on my 13 years of experience, and when I see a gap down and 6 months of sideways, you're just going to have people that are like, OMG, BCRX is 3. Whoa! I didn't even mean to rhyme. but they're just going to sell. So I think BCRX will struggle at 3. Tony Torres. Maybe you got here late, or maybe you didn't hear me. Tony, listen, I beg new traders not to do anything in pre-market or at 9:30. I mean, I think the odds are so much better after the market close or into the afternoon. I just think, especially as a new trader, you're going to get shook out so many times in pre-market or at the market open. CCXI, yeah, definitely interesting. Phase 3 news, huge gap up. Dark Side Trader says the offering is coming. I don't doubt that, but man, I mean, there's a lot of people that are, you want to talk about stuck short sellers. There's a lot of people that are trapped in this, and I mean, if that offering doesn't come soon, it's going to get ugly. Now, what I also like, one of the best things about CCXI is I think there's a high likelihood that we get some sympathy plays on this tomorrow. So think about that. Remember, if maybe a $35 stock's a little rich for your blood. If you got a small account, might be a little hard to trade a $35 stock. But don't be like, oh man, what a bummer. Good chance we get some sympathy plays on this thing tomorrow. So considering this thing's up 300 freaking %, now nothing's guaranteed, but I think there's a very good chance we get some sympathy plays tomorrow. So yes, Jorge and everyone, just a casual bit of information. We are in what I call, this is a weird week, okay? If you're not in the US, or maybe you're new, markets are closed Thursday, and then we close at 1 p.m. on Friday. So be aware of that. No trading on Thursday, 1 p.m. close on Friday, and also be aware, most of the time, Wednesday afternoon gets pretty slow. So I tell people, listen, something I teach, something I recommend is showing up every day. You'll hear me say that over and over and over again. Show up every day, run your scans, be here every day, be prepared. But I tell you what, if you are looking to take a little time off from the markets, it's a great week, especially, Wednesday afternoon and Friday. Just know that quite frequently the volume just kind of goes away and it does get a little slow. So, Bain Kalanji on the video, on the podcast, we had some issues with the video on the last couple podcasts. Tomorrow's episode will have video. I do apologize. So, what are your thoughts on LB? My thoughts are, this is Victoria's Secret. Not to get like conspiracy theory or I guess you could say political, but I'm curious about LB because they may have, Victoria's Secret may have some exposure to this like Epstein stuff, okay? Like the head of LB and Epstein were like buddies, and not to get, listen, I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theories or get into gross stuff. That's not why I'm here. But I would be very careful going long LB. I just think it could be an interesting longer term short. Now, I don't have any information. It's not like if somebody gave me some tip, but I'm just curious to see how this plays out over time. SMSI, that is U.S. records. I agree. I like SMSI, and I'm not a dip buy kind of guy. I don't look to dip buy, but I do agree with you, U.S. records. I think SMSI is a great company. I can't believe it's down here in the 4s after that gap up in the summer. Now, again, I'm not a dip buy kind of guy, but it would not surprise me, U.S. records, to see SMSI back at highs in a few months. Now, doesn't again, I'm not a proponent of dip buying, not my style. So, what are the hours on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, U.S. records? 1 p.m. Eastern, market closes on Friday. Where the hell is Steven Johnson? He's still out there, man, being Steven. So we're actually recording a podcast. We're recording the next episode of the book club. So I'll be recording an episode with Steven. Steven's just been, remember, guys, and if you don't follow the Steady Trade podcast, I think it's a great and fun podcast. I really enjoy doing what we do on Steady Trade, and it's free. It's free, baby. You can't beat free. But again, Steven, I think if you follow the podcast, you probably know Steven's got a full-time job. I mean, and he's in Dubai. I am very impressed by Steven, what Steven manages to do with a very busy full-time job and trading from Dubai time zone. It's incredible. I mean, that guy's had his ups and downs, which you've heard about if you listen to the podcast. But, man, it's impressive. A day, a full-time, very busy job trading from, 9 hours ahead of Eastern time. I nothing but respect. So, PHUN. I don't see anything on PHUN. NASDAQ, NASDAQ SE. I'm open to any idea, but I don't see anything here. So, SRNE, Sam, we already talked about SRNE. I would love to see an early push through 350. So I'm going to leave you with this. I would, you got to be up early. SRNE is a NASDAQ stock, so it's probably going to, it'll probably be active at 4 a.m. So I got to get to bed. So, but I think SRNE through 350, it trapped the shorts with that 230 dip. It's torturing them in after hours. If this thing breaks 350, I think it could really get going. So, NASDAQ, SE, Tesla, I mean, I don't know. This is my opinion on Tesla, and I gotta go. I love all the questions. Thank you, everyone. But to me, I don't trade Tesla because I'll admit I'm a Kool-Aid drinker. Okay? And this is actually a tip for you. I have never traded Tesla in my life. Why? I mean, it has range. It moves. You might be like, well, man, Tesla moves. Why not trade it? I'll admit, I'm a huge Elon Musk fanboy. I totally drink the Tesla Kool-Aid. So, in my opinion, I have a emotional bias in Tesla. So I don't trade it. And that's one of the things that cracks me up on Twitter. All of these people, their entire life's existence centers on saying Tesla's going out of business. I mean, have you ever read the tweets, the hashtag, Tesla Q tweets? if you ever wondered if there was a mental health problem in the world today, read the Tesla Q tweets. It is madness. But my point is, I mean, I'm biased. I'm emotionally biased. Love Tesla, love Elon Musk. So I don't trade it. That's a tip for you. If you're emotionally tied to a stock, don't trade it. Trading your Tundra for a Cybertruck, man, not yet, 100. Not yet, Jorge. Not yet. But and again, Darkside says he trades Tesla multiple times a week. Remember, Tesla has range, like I just said. Okay? It's a very tradable stock. But number one, I'm a penny stock guy. And number two, just like I said, I recognize that I'm emotionally attached, so I don't trade it. That's your tip of the night. Don't trade stocks you're emotionally attached to. It won't go well. All right. Thank you, everyone. Great interaction. Great questions. Love this, man. Have a great night. Definitely, let me get you the links one more time. If you want to listen to me rant and rave twice a day, check out StocksToTrade Pro. If you want some free podcast, check out Steady Trade. And also free, if you want to get the list for next week, go to StocksToTrade/Watchlist. And all those links are in chat. So, all right. Have a great night. Yeah, we are going to have, we are going to have a Black Friday special. Just follow us on Twitter, Instagram. I think they're going to post the Black Friday sale tomorrow. Just follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. All right. I got to go. Have a great night, everyone.